For a second time, an NDP motion to reverse a ban on wearing the keffiyeh inside the Ontario legislature has failed.
Heard some no's.
The oral vote, it needs unanimous consent, and there were several no's heard from the progressive conservative side of the House. And this despite Premier Doug Ford previously voicing his support for a reversal of the ban. And right now, we're joined live by Ontario NDP and official opposition leader Marit Stiles. Ms. Stiles, good afternoon. Are you surprised that this motion has failed a second time?
Well, I was surprised. I mean, I'd have to ask whether the Premier has lost the confidence of his caucus or whether they've lost confidence in him. And we still believe that the keffiyeh should not be banned at Queen's Park.
What about your response to PC MPP's Robin Martin's social media posts?
Well, I haven't seen the post myself, but I know that MPP Martin voted against the motion today, along with some other conservative MPPs. We maintain that the keffiyeh it's cultural attire, and in the province of Ontario, we believe that people of all kinds of backgrounds should feel comfortable here in their legislature, and that includes being able to wear your cultural attire, And so I think it's very unfortunate that the Premier wasn't able to gain the support of his government members to get them to do the right thing today.
Well, MPP Martin's post on social media basically says that there's a photo circulating on Twitter of the federal NDP caucus wearing keffiyehs and doing raised fist salutes while voting in the House of Commons to see how the keffiyeh is being used to make a political statement. What have you been hearing from other MPPs and from the public as well?
Well, we've heard from thousands and thousands of Ontarians from all over the province, actually, who are really concerned about the ban on the keffiyeh. People of all different backgrounds. And, we've had staff and community members turned away from the legislature. We believe, here in Ontario, we believe in democracy and freedom of speech. But this is a scarf that is cultural attire, and I think that people who are Palestinian or Arab and want to wear the keffiyeh should feel comfortable here. And it has not been banned until very recently, and so I would say, just like anything else, it really should be allowed to be worn here at Queen's Park.
And Ms. Stiles, along those lines, can you go back and address the question I asked about the photo regarding, MPP Martin's post?
Well, I'm not really never seen that photo, but I will say this, that here in the legislature, we are always, the keffiyeh has been worn by people for many years as cultural attire. There are people who wear it because they're Palestinian or Arab, and they'll continue to do so, I hope, in this legislature and be welcome to. The government today, if anybody has politicized the wearing of the keffiyeh, it's the government members themselves. By voting to ban the keffiyeh here in the legislature, they have politicized this. And I think it's a very unfortunate message to send to Ontarians today.
What about any ongoing conversations with Premier Ford?
Well, again, we left Mr. Ford the Premier to contemplate this. He had the whole weekend to contemplate it, and I think listen to Ontarians and get his caucus to do the right thing. So again, I have to say, surprised that once again he doesn't seem to have the support of his caucus. We've heard in the last few days even the Premier questioning throwing his cabinet members under the bus, and then he's being thrown under the bus by his own caucus today. So I would question again whether the Premier has lost confidence in his caucus or whether they have lost confidence in him.
And Ms. Stiles, I just have to read this. We just received this email in statement, quote, the Premier has been clear that he does not support this ban and has called on the Speaker to reverse his decisions. Members of caucus are free to support or oppose the NDP motion. So, Ms. Stiles, with that, what's next? Are you going to bring this up again, or do you just keep moving forward?
Well, we'll look at all the options. Obviously, we're going to consider them. I had no reason to believe today that the government wouldn't have voted in the same direction that the Premier has given them. The Premier is picking and choosing where he wants to have free votes, and this is one of them. So, I mean, again, if he didn't think he had the support of his own caucus, that's a problem that he's going to have to deal with. But we'll continue to move forward, look at our options, because we really don't believe this should be banned at Queen's Park.
Okay, Ontario NDP and official opposition leader Mart Salles. Thank you.